Welcome to New Money, where each week we explore the worlds of Chinese startups and entrepreneurs. I am Tracy Chang. Now, sustainable development has been the focus of all major economies in the world. As one of the biggest consumer as well as manufacturer of the world, China is paying particular attention to going green. Today, we analyze a few Chinese companies that specialize in turning trash into treasure.
As we enter the 21st century and economic globalization speeds up, the Chinese economy enters a phase of rapid development. But with socioeconomic development, the accelerated growth increasingly conflicts with environmental protection, and environmental issues top the Sustainable Development list. In recent years, many Chinese cities have been afflicted with haze, water contamination, and other forms of pollution. According to statistics, haze is mainly composed of PM 2.5, most of which come from vehicle exhaust, burning of coal, cooking fumes, dust from construction sites, industrial fumes, and burning of husks. China has a large agricultural sector. After harvest every year, most farmers burn traditional agricultural waste, including rice husks, peanut shells, and corn stalks. Crop straw contains nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, hydrogen, carbon, organosulfur compounds, etc., and the burning produces large amounts of nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, hydrocarbons, soot, and particulate matter.
就是咱们中国这么大的面积，水稻的年产量大概是1亿公吨每年。
In China, the annual yield of rice is approximately 100 million tons, and husks take up 20% of their weight, which means about 20 million tons of rice husks are produced every year. Rice husks are usually used as feed, biomass, or materials for brewing. But as far as I know, even biomass needs to be burned to generate electricity. Burning 100 grams of rice husks will emit 125 grams of carbon monoxide and nitrogen dioxide into the atmosphere. That's a huge amount of pollution, and it went on for years.
这个是对环境的污染是特别大，而且是每年都是这样子。
Given the severe damage that husk burning inflicts upon the environment, can we turn it from waste into treasure?
我们这个公司大连绿泰科技有限公司，英文简称 OGT。
OGT is the first company in China that makes natural plant fiber into environmentally friendly hard tableware. Our idea at first was simply to make environmental protection more practical, so that people can have a direct feeling of what it is.
做一个真正的农业循环经济。
Through Ruan's constantly working and inquiring into the root of the matter, the balance between environment protection and economic development has been found by him, which will help many agricultural countries to deal with the husks. In that way, it helps farmers to build agricultural circular economy.
Now, just a reminder, you can use your smartphone to scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to find the latest and all previous episodes of New Money. And to begin today's discussion, Professor Jia Ning joins me in the studio. She is the Deputy Director at the China Business Case Center at Tsinghua University. Thank you so much for joining me today,
Thanks.
Professor Jia. So let's start by talking about the circular economy. Can you elaborate on it?
You know, this is a very interesting concept because the main economic model of our time is actually a linear model. It's, take, make, and dispose. Right? So it's sort of a linear model. But this model actually requires easy access to a large quantity of resources and energy, which, as we know, is now becoming more and more difficult to obtain. Definitely. So an alternative economic model is what you mentioned, the circular economy, which is actually perceived as sort of a restorative and regenerative economic model. And as the name implies, circular, so it's a closed loop by adding in this recycle and reuse component, which is building up sort of a positive and sustainable cycle here.
That's right. And Professor Jack, can you talk about the actual benefits of a circular economy?
Right. Actually, there's been a lot of research done on the potential benefits of circular economy. Actually, one of the reports done by the World Economic Forum listed several of them. One is net material savings. So the report indicates that, for example, in the sector of medium-lived complex good, that includes, for example, consumer electronics, the circular economy can bring out a cost saving up to about 630 billion US dollars annually,
Mm-hmm.
which is highly significant.
Right.
And the second benefit is reduced exposure to price volatility. This is a natural consequence of cost savings. So we're going to be seeing a shift down the cost curve, in terms of the raw material price. And then the third one is increased economic development. So it's estimated that the circular economy can actually boost up the GDP by about 1 to 7%,
wow,
which is very significant.
Yeah, especially now we're slowing down for China. That's particularly important.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, environmental protection is now on the minds of all entrepreneurs, but as China's first industry, agriculture is the route for going green. More details after the break.